But thank you for coming to the Standard Action panel. That was episode 6.5, or episode 0, which we aired first in November 2010. And that was sort of the beginning of what became an entire first season of 14 episodes and 3 hours of content, which is online. This is part of our casting crew. Up here right now behind me is Rob, who is our director and DOP. I'm Joanna, I'm the writer and the producer, and I also play Edda, the elf barbarian. Vanessa is our costume designer, associate producer, and does some marketing as well. Edwin Perez is Fernando, as well as an associate producer, and did some costume design for the first season. And Tara Pratt on the end, who plays the sorceress.
I love you, Tara! Is there one fan?
I'm a fan of all of you equally.
Also, there's a bit of a shout out to some of our audience members who have actually helped Standard Action. We have our main artist from second season, Devin. Shannon, our most wonderful PA from second season. And Troy, who plays
Yeah, he plays Orlando LaGrange.
In first season as well.
First season, and then some later.
Yeah.
So I don't know what else to talk about.
Some more. Well, he shows up in second season. That's okay. Yeah.
He falls down.
Stop talking about stuff.
He falls down a lot.
Okay.
That's just
me.
Yeah. So we usually do. This is what we usually do for a panel. We usually screen some stuff. We take questions. We talk about sort of how we did what we did and why we did what we did and what's coming next. So just because there aren't too many people here, honestly, if you have anything that you want us to talk about, or you have any questions right off the top, please feel free at any point to stick up your hand, and we'll stop doing whatever we're doing. Hey, okay.
Well, I was just wondering, in like episode 7 and 8, and pretty much almost throughout the whole entire rest of season 1, why was Fernando wearing the tights on his head?
Edwin, would you like to cover that?
Yes, I'd like to cover that, actually. So, I happened to get a haircut halfway through the shooting, and they cut it too short. And I showed up to set, and I'm like, just, trying to figure out how am I going to do this. And it just happened that we never like put types of choreography on or anything like that, right? So I got the idea that, well, Fernando would, get himself geared up to fight this mime and, deal with that stuff. He would put on anything and everything that he has, right? So I put the types of choreography on my head. That's like a Rambo-ish kind of thing.
I remember the story differently. Yeah, I remember you putting them on and saying they're way too small and way too see-through. You're like, I am not wearing these out in February, and you can see stuff.
They were mine. I mean,
yeah,
they were mine.
And so, like, they're these little tiny girl tights, and
that's one of the reasons
and
why.
like we had them in pants, like real pants, at that point in the season.
No, but at that point you didn't even have pants on. The halflings had stolen your pants.
It's like episode 7, he's back to wearing.
No, he doesn't have pants.
No, he didn't have pants.
He gets his pants back in episode.
Well, that's right.
8.
So he has gray leggings on.
Yeah.
But yeah, the tights were like not. They're not. Yeah, they. We have to keep our rating.
What, you didn't want the Cockplace of Splendor showing?
Oh,
well,
we
give that time.
We get to see that. We get to see that.
And we will get to see the
that
later.
Yeah.
It's glorious.
That's for season 2.
It's like the next cast member that is.
Yeah, because in episode 7, all we saw was glowing light, and it was just like, put that away!
Hobbies comes up in season 2.
Don't say comes up.
Yeah. It stays securely where it's fashioned.
There we go.
And it is amazing, and you should watch second season for
Just for the
Splendor, because there was a lot of effort put into that by myself and our electrical engineer.
If you only see one thing this summer.
I think I have another question
Yes.
for Lady Art.
Yeah. Lady.
Are we ever gonna see Snuffles?
Well, I mean, if you've watched first season, we see a flash of Snuffles attacking someone.
The half giant?
In episode 12. But Snuffles usually appears as a pile of dirt because he is a badger. I would like to see Snuffles someday. Unfortunately, at the moment, there is no footage in the can of Snuffles not a pile of dirt.
We have started branching out into puppets.
Into puppetry, yeah.
We had some Cobalt prototype puppets built for second season, and they worked out really well. And that definitely was on the next point on the list would be to get a Badger puppet.
Yeah.
But of course, we're still waiting for our third Cobalt puppet to arrive in the mail, and then we will start thinking about future.
So there are definitely plans. There's definitely plans, and probably we'll go with puppetry. Yeah.
I always felt like Snuffles was invisible.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
Honestly, because I saw the pile of dirt and I forgot Badgers lived underground, I thought he was dead.
Joanna forgot that as well.
No, I didn't forget that. But see, Badgers in D&D. If anybody here plays Dungeons and Dragons, Badgers have a burrow speed. So when I was like, burrow speed, all right, we'll make him a burrowing Badger. So that's what that means.
So he's like a Badger mole.
Sorry, yeah, whatever. He's a D&D Badger. He's not a real Badger. Yeah. Okay, so
He's a Vorpal Badger.
Sorry.
He's a Vorpal Badger, like the Vorpal bunny from Holy Grail.
Yeah, well, that's sort of what that scene was reminiscent of in episode 12.
Yeah, when he
the attacking Badger.
Yeah, again.
Yeah, it's funny. We did a few live D&D games at gaming stores in Vancouver. So I ran games for people, and I give them character sheets of all the characters in the game, and of course, whoever is playing Martin would have a character sheet for Snuffles because the animal companion. And Snuffles always kicked ass. Like Snuffles. No, everybody else would die, and Snuffles would be saving the day, and it would only be Snuffles left alive at the end because Badgers are captain.
I thought I was pretty strong. Wasn't my character like surprisingly strong?
Physically strong, yes, which is ridiculous for a sorcerer. You'd be like opening all the doors and bashing down everything. Yeah.
Doesn't sorcerers need all their points to be in like charisma? Because charisma is what beats their spells.
Yeah,
I would be the person to ask.
That was the thing with writing the characters, right? Is these are all supposed to be, all of the 4 leads are characters that probably, if you were to roll their stats up in a D&D game, you'd choose a different class.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Martin is way too intelligent to be a druid, and Wendy's way too strong to be a sorcerer, and Edwin, well, Fernando, horns are just special anyway.
Just mediocre, like he should be.
And the tiniest elf barbarian ever. But, okay, so what I'll do, just because everybody's kind of a happy fun mood right now, I'll just ask some questions myself of the rest of the panel and see how it goes. Tara, do you want to tell, which is an interesting story, about your first day on set?
That's my favorite story, telling the set, actually. So my first day on set, we arrive in trees. We've always worked in trees, so we're there in trees. And it starts snowing a bit. This is January? So it's snowing a bit, and I think Joanna's looking a little worried because it's my first day. I'm just tired on, like, oh god, is she gonna bail? But it's snowing. And I've got this beautiful corset that Vanessa's fashion, but I've got this really warm cape too, so I'm good. But I'm lying on the ground tied to Fernando. And I'm lying there, and the snow is coming down, and the snow starts falling more heavily, and it's more painful. And it starts hailing, like really, really, really hailing. And I'm laying on the ground, and I think at this point Joanna's worried that I'm just going to quit. But, I don't, because I feel like this is what I've wanted to do my whole life. Lie on the ground and hail, sure.
Tied next to me.
Yeah. But I was really, really enjoying myself. I was like shooting like an action sequence, like we're running around this mountain. I mean, that I'm lying on the ground and hail, I don't care. And that's reason A, I didn't give up, then reason B is because, oh yay, I'm on the ground and there's hail. There's Joanna. Holding a bounce over me, so I didn't get, the brunt of the hail and the weather. So I'm like, okay, well, everybody else is weathering it out like I am. Why would I even complain about it? So that was my first day on set. I think these guys were worried that I was going to run away, but no, I had a great time. Yeah.
And we actually had to change the dialogue that day.
Yes,
because of the snow.
Yeah, because we'd already shot. We already shot some sequences. We shot the end, the second half of that episode, and it was sunny and awesome. And the first half of the episode, it started snowing, so I had to change the line to, we've got to get off of this mountain and out of this snow. And then the next scene, we're off of the mountain. So, yeah.
I actually have a question for Tara.
Yeah.
Well, at the beginning of the season, you started off your character had a blue theme, and then at the end you had a purple theme. Is the purple theme going to stay, or is it going to become a different theme?
We'll just say that the purple theme is, that was, I don't want to say evil, not evil Wendy, but that was when I was under total spell.
Enchantment
So
spell.
we had to make that distinction.
Right.
Tara loves the purple, but our costumer says, no, we have to. I need to look.
Yeah, the color schemes were very carefully picked out, and we went with specific color themes for each character. And so we really wanted to, like, her eyes changed color, her hair extensions changed color, her whole look changed when she went purple, and that was to show that she was very obviously under the influence of a mind control spell. Is that what that was?
Enchantment spell.
Enchantment spell. And so that went that way. And so, and you'll notice at the end, the very end, she puts her blue contacts back in, even though she still has all the purple on after she's gotten better.
Contacts. Magic?
So, well, because but her eyes change color, so she's back to blue Wendy. So, their costumes are different for second season, but she goes back to blue.
Alrighty. Okay.
I've got a question actually. For you, John.
Oh god.
How different are the characters from what you originally had imagined them to be?
How did we screw them up?
Yeah, what did you do wrong?
Well, that's kind of an interesting question, actually, because I originally wrote the barbarian and the druid character first, and I wrote those not even really to ever be filmed. They were just sort of character studies. They were fun to do, and I wrote the barbarian for myself because I would never, ever, as an actor in Vancouver, ever be asked to play that role, ever. So I wrote it for myself, and I wrote them all because I don't know how many people in the room play Dungeons and Dragons, but when they brought out 4th edition, they left out all of my favorite classes in the first round. So they left out the barbarian, the druid, the bard, and the sorcerer. So I wrote the 4 characters for standard action to be like the people who were left out of the party, who were kind of losers and didn't get accepted. They're kind of like nerds, really, like didn't get accepted by the popular crowd. And
she's writing our lives.
Yeah, basically all my friends. And Edwin was working with Rob and I on Rob's feature film, and when we brought him on board, he was really excited about the script, so we're like, okay, well, we'll write a bard character. But to be honest, the entire arc of all of the characters in this show wasn't written at the beginning. I wrote episodes 1 to 4 and we released those before everything else, and I really only had a very basic idea of where the story was going. Like, I sort of knew where the end point was and what I wanted to happen generally between point A and point B, but when we cast people, I mean, as an actor first, like I really am an actor first, it was really important to me to allow them to take it on themselves and add stuff to it that I had, that I didn't even see coming, basically. Like, it was really... Like, if for people who have watched the entire season, the arc of the Martin character is, I had no idea it was going to go that way. I mean, that was great. I mean, he ended up in a place where, I mean, I didn't know that Martin was going to be like that at the end of the season, and that was really exciting. So, I guess I didn't really have a plan for the characters so much as I wanted to see what happened to them when I put them through the paces that I'd written. And everybody really rose to the occasion, and we cast very well. So, yeah.
And it wasn't just the 4 main cast either. That happened with quite a few of our guest stars.
Yeah,
as well.
It was bigger. It was a larger
cast. Yeah, the cast, the people that we did cast, the actors, the performers, ended up bringing some really interesting stuff to the table, and so we ended up creating more for them to do because we wanted to bring them back, or they did something really interesting that was like, oh hey, this would make this storyline way more interesting.
Sure,
the storyline that you originally thought.
Yeah, that was the thing with doing a web series, really, and releasing as you go, is you can react really quickly. You'd be like, oh, hey, all of a sudden we got this resource over here, which is, for example, when we brought Edward on to play Dwarble, who's the cleric, he's amazing. We brought him in, and it was like, oh my god, you just brought so much to set and to the production. We're like, okay, let's use this guy as much as possible, or we'd find somebody who brought one particular location or something, or we could change so fast that we could take advantage of all that stuff, which is great.
Or some Ishnu who was like 5 characters.
Some Ishnu, yeah.
I like that Martin burned down the tavern. That's something I would do.
That's a standard D&D party plan.
Well,
they burn it down.
Well, no, it's just like that's something my elven sorceress would do, because she just got Scorching Ray as her 4th level spell. So
burning things is fun in D&D. Definitely.
Yes.
Well, in terms of actual production, Rob, do you want to talk a little bit about how we like what we use and how we make it look so pretty. I mean, a lot of people talk to us about how pretty it looks and the cinematography and all that. You want to talk a little about that?
I'll keep it quick because I bet most of the people in the front row at least know exactly what it is. But
Okay.
for those of you who don't know, Standard Action was filmed on some DSLR cameras. They're just like still cameras with detachable lenses, so you can put a better lens in, like a golf club, for the right situation. We filmed with some of the cheapest ones out there that do HD, which are called like the Canon T2i. They're about $400 or $500 now. And we get really great results with it. We shot a feature beforehand with me and Edwin and Joanna and some other friends, so we had some experience with how good the image is. The big benefits we use is we filmed in a little park most of the time where you could see houses and like creepy overweight middle-aged dudes staring at us from their decks. But since we use a DSLR camera, only a small portion of a distance away from the camera is in focus. So the further you get back for that house back there, you can't even tell it's a house. It just looks sort of like a rocky brick thing, or not even. Yeah, it's called Shallow Depth of Field. So
Chalet? Chalet?
Shallow Depth of
Okay, I was like, chalet?
Yes, Rachel.
Or DOF, as some of us call it. Yeah, I don't know. We didn't use a lot of fancy equipment. A lot of people use really, really expensive setups. We just got little cheap cameras and put some $50 LED lights on top for in the woods. And that seemed to be everything we needed. I think that's all I got.
Alright. We have nice tripods and a little gym
No, we
crate.
don't actually.
You didn't have a boom mic?
Yeah,
we had a boom.
It's a certain,
Okay.
certain price point. I mean, you don't have them. You can. Once you get to a certain price point, you can get decent stuff, but you don't need to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on equipment to have something that's filmed in full HD and looks great and that people can appreciate. The most important things really are being able to hear your actors, and like that's a really big one. If you're watching a great series that looks great but you can't hear anybody,
That's not a problem with us.
Speak from the diaphragm!
Another thing that actually a lot of people have taken note of in our series, and one thing that it was a big step to overcome when we first started, was the fact that when you're doing fantasy, you need costume, which is not, it's not office wear, it's not modern, so it's harder to get. And maybe Edwin and Rex would like to talk a little bit about first season costuming, because that's what people can see up online.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
Like Martin's Chuck Taylors.
Woo!
Yes, yes, that was actually a choice that we made to. I think we talked about this to make them magical boots, essentially, right? And we throw in little things like that, pop culture references and stuff like that. We try to utilize as much as we can.
Yeah.
The glasses, for example, right?
Martin's man purse.
The man
We have
purse.
a lot of modern footwear.
Yeah, because wasn't Martin wearing like skate shoes?
Yeah, he's wearing Chuck
on.
Taylors.
Chuck Taylors.
Oh, yeah.
They were knockoffs. We couldn't afford real ones. But yeah, we like the modern, because it was a mix. We didn't want it to be strictly period accurate, which of course it's not, because it's cheaper to fake, and you can get some more interesting textures and details and fantasy stuff in there. But yeah, the characters were all very carefully chosen from what we had access to and could make in a very short amount of time. But we did pay a lot of attention to color and texture. Kind of the way I approached a lot of character design and redesigns for second season was I want them to look sort of like video game avatars or comic book characters. I want them to look slightly cartoony, so that's why their colors are all very monochromatic. Martin's green because he wears lots and lots of greens and browns. Wendy is blue and black. Fernando is beautiful purpley and creams and browns, and so we wanted the fantasy element was there, but we wanted it to feel gamerish as well.
And have it just be stylized. When you're working with a budget, it makes it much easier.
Really?
to-
Made it easier for you? Made it harder for
me.
me?
When it's stylized, I feel like there's the freedom to make something that isn't necessarily conventional. I mean, you don't have to go with chainmail or armor. It can be anything. It can be something else. It can be magical.
Football patty.
Oh, like, yeah, it's just like you can fake one thing into something else because
Yeah.
you're not going after that.
There's no period accuracy.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah, I mean,
accuracy that needs to
but
be
as
followed.
far as stylized to me means more attention to detail in the word.
And that's what we do. That's where our relationship ends. Well,
it was
Vanessa,
really difficult, but it was really rewarding. Some parts were really difficult. Some parts were really easy. Some of it was like, wow, I just found the best fabric on clearance, and it's the perfect color. It's gonna be a bitch to sew, but it's exactly what we needed. So.
And the great thing is that Vanessa comes from a background of costume.
Yeah.
I'm a guy who stuff together. You know what I mean? Like, I just take things and I imagine what I want them to be and just build them towards that with no.
Lots of duct tape.
Yeah. No, without any sort of like I plan things out, but I don't necessarily stick to the conventional rules of costuming. And I approach it from a very different angle. And so between myself and Vanessa, you know, she came in with the discipline to make things look a certain way. She can do things that I can't. Right?
There's some crazy training.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had some really intensive training and skills and stuff. But it's interesting because it ended up marrying well together because this isn't. It is a web series. It is low budget. It is for fun. It is, and they aren't high level. And so it ended up being this really sort of perfect blend of MacGyvered stuff and polished stuff that lent itself really well to the look, and it made it a very charming, very. It fit the universe really well, and we also ended up splitting up the costuming duties in very in a very interesting way. He did 3 of the main cast members, and I did Wendy the Sorceress, and then after that we split it up boys and girls. So I did all the girls and he did all the guys, and then I also took on monsters too because I had a lot of experience with like faux finishing and future design. So and then he ended up doing a lot of the armor. So it ended up working really well. So we got this really weird mix. It wasn't entirely his design. It wasn't entirely my design. That lent itself really well to the first season.
And kept us on budget.
Yeah.
And this is also really great with you're really good about getting honest about okay, you're like going into second season, of course we leveled up, we changed our costumes a bit. At one point Vanessa's like, okay, I need to get in with you for a fitting. What's your schedule like? And I said, well, I'm working downtown. And she said, okay, I'll come meet you. So there we are. I work in an office. So there we are in my bathroom. And I've got my bodice and new cape.
It's like a big office building downtown.
Yeah, Penrith.
And we're in the bathroom.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, you know what? I could really use a Sharpie. And I'm like, we've got some of my stationery cabinet. She's like, do you feel comfortable going to your office? Like, I'm dressed. I'm like, yeah. I'll go. I walk into reception. I'm like, holy shit. What are you doing? I'm like, yeah,
it's my lunch break. It's my lunch break. I can do what I want.
I grab my Sharpie. I come back out of the stationery room, and there's my IT manager. He's like, whoa. What is happening here? And yeah, he gets out his cell phone. He's like, I'm like, okay. Back to the bathroom. And so we, make it fit with our lives.
Yeah.
But the costume for me, when we first started the series, it was very important to, because you see a lot of series out there start out, and a lot of people ignore costuming, whether it's just regular clothing. It just looks, it takes you out of the world because it's just regular clothing. It's just regular clothing. It is what it is. But when you have somebody looking after costumes, it makes that difference. It makes it look more polished. And you don't have to rely on your actors showing up to set and not bringing any of their stuff. So that was very important to me that it looked, our fantasy costumes looked.
It looked planned. It looked planned. It looked designed. It didn't look like you had some poor, half-assed actors show up with some dirty laundry.
Yeah.
Which some shows look like, and that's fine if that's what they're going for. But it needs to look coherent and cohesive and thought out, because otherwise you're going to lose a lot of your visual interest and your production values are going to go down.
Yeah, that was one of the big things about costume design and makeup and production design in general, actually, and the writing, was the fact that when we wrote it, and I fought a lot with Rob about this actually, because I wrote the scripts to be much more gamey, like much more game terminology, much more modern stuff, much like
numbers.
Yeah, a lot of numbers, a lot of talking about stats and talking about ability numbers and all this kind of stuff. And Rob was like, well, this is great, but I think maybe you're going to alienate me. And so we scaled it down to the point where we basically just got, like the costumes, it's like you've got this thing that if you look at the whole, it's fantasy, sure. But then when you go in and you look at the details, there are little bits and pieces in there that make it not quite fantasy. That there's little bits in the writing that tell you that we're not taking ourselves seriously. That tell you you're in a game world. That instead of this being a high fantasy show, this is like a bunch of D&D avatars running around in a game world rather than a fantasy world. And it was really nice to have the costume and the look reflect that choice in the writing. So they fit together really nicely. And I liked where we got to, the balance that we got to, I think.
Even with a lot of the just small, interesting little characters, that grunt number 3 or whatever, you have a lot of those. I had always really sort of looked at them as NPCs in a video game. So we ended up reusing several costume pieces throughout the show on different characters who show up and have like one line or whatever. And that's okay for me because I want them to look like it's just something that, like when one video game designs, like, you've got
the guard spawn.
The guard spawn. Like this, it's the same dude, but he's now blonde instead of brown haired, but he's wearing the same thing. So I wanted that to look very much, and I was very careful with color design and texture and stuff too, to make sure that everybody, that rules of gaming were followed, that character design was followed, so you have specific color themes for it. And then again, like with this NPC idea, I want them to look like just variations of the same respawn character over and over and over. It's the same 4 bad guys that you have to kill like a million times
before you get to the boss.
Yeah, so that was how I designed that.
So I'm asking so many questions. This happened at the Loading Ready Run panel too. They actually nicknamed me Purple Questions because I had purple hair back then. The sword that the Undead Goblin King ruler person had, was that a Kit Ray sword?
Vanessa.
Funny thing about that sword, a friend of mine here in Vancouver works at the Sea Dump. And he,
That's where we go.
yeah, and he's like I said, a friend of mine, not involved in web series or anything at all, but I know him for something else. And I was like, if you ever see anything really weird or interesting, can you let me know? Like, we might be able to use it for something like weird props, whatever. Because he was saying, and he's found random bits of armor and weapons for us. And so that was a sword that he actually was like, so somebody tried to throw a sword away today. I grabbed it for you. Do you want it? And I was like, oh my god, this is so ridiculous.
It's
gaudy
so
and
ugly.
and it's a piece of shit. This is fantastic. We'll take it. And I was like, I have no idea what we're doing this. And I gave it to Jo, and she's like, I don't know what to do with this. We'll think of something. And then the Hobgoblin King needed a sword. And Edward Boyd, who's our fight choreographer and our on-set safety guy, was like, this is one of the worst swords you can use to fight with. This is really dangerous. So we have to be really careful with the fight choreography. And we were all like, wow, this is really ugly. Can we maybe make it uglier? And then Joanna actually changed some of the writing of the script to say that it was a gaudy.
Yeah, and actually the guy who played the Hobgoblin champion,
he took it home and just
he covered it with wood stain to make it even worse.
And chalk. And then shellacked it and sand, we did some really weird. So I have no idea. I don't think it is.
Because it looked like one of the Kit Ray sword designs that I've seen before.
We ended up finding it. Maybe. Everyone lent it up and we found it on, and it's a really cheap, made in China stainless steel. It's really,
I'm sure
it's not a good. Yeah, it's a really bad sword.
Alright.
Adam loves it, so he has it somewhere.
Oh no, I've got it. Oh, I've got it. Yeah, I should get it.
Joanna loves it more.
I was gonna try and auction it off for money for second season, and then I looked at it and I'm like, I don't know.
We don't want to see this up close.
Yeah.
Wait until you guys get more famous. We'll talk about it later.
So I'm not
keep
sure.
trophies of the guys you killed.
Yeah, because if somebody just threw out a Kit Ray sword to jump, I'd be like, what?
And what was really interesting is that when you looked at it, it looked like it had some weird patina ink, but just in a couple spots. And I'm pretty sure that somebody stuck it in a fire.
It looked like it, yeah.
It looked like it had discolored in the middle and kind of warped. So I feel like somebody who had no idea what they were doing heated it up to do something to it.
Some fake weapon forging.
Yeah,
or whatever. It's a B-roll.
Ever.
Yeah.
So that was where that came from.
Alright.
They're like, you can't destroy it by fire.
Well, then throw it away. No.
Garbage.
Yeah, if you watch episode 9, I believe, you can actually see paintball marks on the trees in specific scenes. If you're looking for them, you can see them. So, yeah.
Doesn't Fernando summon like an electric guitar? in the
No, he
last
levels up.
episode?
He levels
It's
up.
like,
and
summon guitar. It's like, hey, I think we leveled up.
Yeah, he does. He levels up at the end of the season, yes.
Even though he almost died.
And Vanessa pointed out that actually one of your characters gets a lot less angry as the season goes on. I started off like really, God, everybody's like confident every shot.
We just wrapped shooting season 2, and so looking at some of this, thinking of some of the stuff we just shot, and then looking at this, I was like, wow, Wendy's a bitch. Wow, she was angry.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited about the journeys of the characters.
Yeah.
We just shot season 2, and it's really cool how like all of a sudden they've come together into a party and they're different. Like they're different. They've learned a lot, and it's really neat.
And it's following normal D&D footsteps.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, they're coming together all the time. Any other questions? Yeah.
What's in your D&D panel?
Oh,
That's a really good question.
That's a really good question. You mean the panel that's coming up after this one?
Yeah.
Well, for all of you who live in Vancouver, there is a show that goes on every Wednesday. Last Wednesday of every month. Thank you. Called the Critical Hit Show. It's on at the Rio Theater at Broadway and Commercial, and it's basically live D&D on stage. And Eric, who runs that show, is running the panel here called Standard Action D&D. It shouldn't really be called Standard Action D&D. It should be called Critical Hit Show D&D.
Isn't it Critical Hit?
It's going to be a little bit different. It's mostly more like Acquisitions Incorporated, if you've ever been to PAX, so people sitting around the table playing D&D and doing improv comedy. So it should be really fun. I don't really know what to expect, but I'll show up. See what happens. What else can we talk about? I wish Ashley was here. We could talk about makeup. For those of you who... Yeah, she's at the booth. We do have a lot of really fantastic monsters in first season. We focused on hobgoblins as our sort of main monster, and
It was so much fun.
yeah, Ashley created some really amazing prosthetic makeup for our monsters in first season.
I helped sculpt your ears.
Sorry?
I helped sculpt your ears.
Yes.
For second season.
Fun fact, we have bits and parts and different hobgoblins, and they're all played by the same guy, just not an actor.
Yeah.
It's just different prosthetics and different costumes. So in this episode, you saw his foot and his arm.
And you heard his yell.
And you heard his yell, and that was all we did of him was his foot and his arm. We were like, oh, this is all we're gonna need, thanks. And then we needed another hobgoblin later in the season, and we're like, can you come back? All you have to do is stand there
With a spear.
because he's not an actor and he doesn't want to do this. And he's like, okay, I suppose. And then by the end, like the guy that we cast to play Jane, the hobgoblin champion, bailed on us because that's what happens in independent movie making. You have people bail. So we're like, Adam, we already have a casting of your face, and it's really easy to make a prosthetic. Do you want to be the main bad guy for season 1? And he was just like, what? And so yeah, it ended up being the same guy for the hobgoblin. So our entire hobgoblin army is
One man.
one man and one woman. And then we've got Kev, the hobgoblin female. So we have a total of 2 hobgoblins and our entire vast army.
And
Yeah.
the girl who played the hobgoblin female also played the warlock in Martin's episode
episode
with
two.
the charisma of 20.
Yes. Yeah. Adam, who is our hobgoblin, actually, he also is a musician and composed a lot of our music for first season. Some really great stuff that ended up. You hear a lot more of it in the second half of the season. That's a lot of Adam. He's also he works in construction, so he built the outhouse from episode 1. Like, it's multi-talented people. It's
Is
great.
he not Short Pants Longbeard? He is, because he
Yeah, he
Short
did
Pants
the-
Longbeard.
Yeah,
He did
the song. He did the single for Short Pants Longbeard and the Raging Gnomes called "Gnome to the Bone," which is played in episode 4. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's cool. And with independent film, you end up really, really holding on to people who can do a lot of different things.
Yeah, if you show up and you can do different things, oh my god,
Yeah.
just stop you.
You're useful. Keep you around.
Yes.
Question.
Which one was more fun to shoot, season 1 or season 2?
More fun to shoot.
Season 1, because I didn't have a day job.
Dude, but you were miserable the whole time. Talk about how you did the job.
I don't know, they were really, really different. We shot season 1 over the course of almost a year. So November to October the following year. And we shot almost every 2 weeks. And so it was a really, really long process. And it was a huge learning process.
Yes.
and it was a lot of fun, but it was a long haul. Second season, we shot very differently. We shot again once every 2 weeks, but we shot it over a shorter period of time, and we didn't release as we went. Like, we've got a lot of it, you know, everything that we're gonna shoot this year, we've got in the can already. We just need to edit it and release it. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Did you have more fun in second season or first season?
I liked season 2 because I didn't have to do any costuming, so I could just watch my lines.
Yeah, I did all the costumes and I AD'd for a while. It was a lot of work. Yeah, I did make Naomi. I had an assistant this year. It was amazing. I called her at like 10 o'clock at night at one point, just like in tears. I was like, I don't have time to make a cake, but I can't do this. And she's like, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Do you have the fabric? I was like, yeah, I have it. But she's like, it's okay. I will make the cake. Stop crying. I'll be there, and I'll have the cake for tomorrow. It's okay. So it was great to have an assistant, yeah, who I could just be like, make this pretty, go away. And she would take care of it. Yeah.
Go Team Pretty.
Yeah, go Team Pretty.
What do you think, Rob?
I don't know. They were very different. They were both fun, but they're so different.
Yeah, they were.
I don't think I could pick.
Yeah.
We learned a lot more from mistakes in second season. Unfortunately, we made some bigger mistakes in second season that damaged things, and we lost time because of it.
There were big lessons. That's all. Yeah.
We're still learning.
Yeah, I mean, second season was a little different. I mean, when I was coming into second season, actually, I was, and I don't actually know if I've told any of the rest of the crew this, I was terrified because season 1 was so successful. In my eyes, successful. We didn't make any money off of it, but that's not how I determined success. How I determined success is the fact that we had a huge group of people who loved to watch what we did. And I was like, oh my god, it's so fantastic. They gave us money for second season and everything was great. And sitting down to write second season, I was like, I can't do it. I can't keep making something good. It was totally stressful for me, totally stressful. And we ended up doing a lot of sort of false starts. Like, my first draft of the season didn't get used. My second draft of the season, bits of it got used. You know, so it was definitely a longer, more stressful process for me.
I liked season 1 because, like Joanna said, it became like it was part of our lives. We shot every second week. So my life for that year was, okay, and I'm shooting standard action. This is part of my life. I'm going to use some flaky actor terms. But I enjoyed my character arc in season 1. I did. I mean, I could see myself evolving like every episode. Oh my god, suddenly I really care about Fernando. I didn't care about him when I started, and now I do. I care if he gets hurt or where he is. And I enjoyed that journey. Season 2 I enjoyed. You know what, it's funny, the last episode we shot, I was putting in my blue contacts at Ashley's house and I was getting ready to go, and I thought, I finally know what I'm doing. And it's the last episode. But I get it, right? Like I don't have to, of course you're always working as we go, but I'm like, no, it's in me enough that I know where I'm at character-wise, I know what I'm doing, I've got it's almost like a routine, do the contacts, get the makeup, get the cake, ready to go. And I don't give anything away, but we go to so many different places in second season. It's fantastic.
Literally.
Like, I mean, literally. We got to explore things about our characters going to different places that we didn't in season 1. So I enjoyed those both seasons, probably equally for those reasons.
Yeah, Joanna threw some interesting stuff out there for you guys.
I can't wait to see them.
First season you had the ukulele, the recorder,
Yeah.
and the guitar. Yeah. What do we see? Do we see these?
I have a picture of him with an instrument.
That's true.
Yeah, we do have instruments in second season.
And do you actually know how to play them?
No.
Right?
I have rudimentary skills of the guitar.
Yeah.
You know, I know a few chords here and there, and so.
Doesn't need to know how to play the instrument.
He does the inspiring monologues. That was true.
Yes, right.
We've toyed around with the idea because my background is in dance. I'm a dancer, so with that, no issues. But the complications of choreographing something that's going to happen out in the woods on uneven ground, it's a little bit complicated. So, I mean, we toyed around with the idea of having like a dance sequence or something. I think we threw out the idea, Rob threw out the idea of having like a stand-up against the boogeyman. And it was a dance-off. And a boogeyman. Right?
Yeah.
I didn't hear about that. That's awesome.
But
Yeah,
that sounds so good, but we never.
That's something
That might be
probably
coming
use. That we could probably use.
We still have some insurance money left, so.
Yeah.
So that I would love to see that happen. It's something.
A lot of our instruments are. So, what do you have in your props box at home? Have you acquired? So it's a lot of random stuff. Again, because we are so cheap, it's a lot of or do we know anybody who plays anything that wouldn't mind us borrowing?
There'll be a sentence in the script. Like I'll send out the scripts, and one of them will be. Fernando pulls out some weird instrument, and Carla, who does a lot of our props, will call me up and be like, "So,
what does that mean?
What did you mean by this exactly?" I'm like, "I don't know. What do you got?"
And usually the more awkward it is, the funnier it comes off.
There was actually one particular situation in season 2, which I'm not going to detail too much because it'll give too much away. But there was a situation in which we lost a prop from first season, which I really, really wanted to use. It's a major story point. Totally lost.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So we had to use something else, and it turned out to be hilarious.
And it was one of those things where, like, okay, so we lost this thing, it's a magic item. And you put your, like, Carla, Vanessa,
anybody?
Have you seen anything weird at Valley Village?
Stressing about this problem and told her, just use something else and make it funny.
Yeah. So we used something else.
Don't tell me you lost the sword that glue pink.
Oh, no way. That's mine.
No.
Right. That's a replica of Sting.
Yeah.
That cost me $40.
Sting from The Hobbit?
We don't spend that much
Oh,
yeah. But it's funny because that's the kind of thing that happens with low budget stuff, right? I mean, the constraints of budget sometimes make things really funny.
Oh no, it's like a total I guess you still haven't found the mystery item that was lost.
Oh no, it's gone.
It's gone.
So in order to actually act in something interesting that I find the characters stimulating and three-dimensional, oftentimes you have to write it yourself. So that's why I wrote the characters in standard action that I wrote, is because these are the kind of characters you would never see in a casting room in Vancouver for American films or movies of the week or whatever. I would never be able to do this. So actually having the resources and the drive to write it yourself means you get to do a lot of fun stuff as an actor you wouldn't get to do normally. So yeah, I don't know if these guys have another answer for doing independent film, but.
We're doing just independent projects, period. I wanted actually to tell them about it. Speaking of like competition and being cast for things and da-da-da-da-da. Joanna and I actually last fall, Joanna and I auditioned for a play that was happening.
Oh yeah.
And it was just a beautiful one act about two lesbians fall in love at a bookstore. So we auditioned for this completely independently, and we kind of crossed paths. We're like, hey, how'd your audition go? Oh, great, yours, blah, 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 blah. So then we texted, did you get a call back? Yeah, I got a call back, did you? So we ended up being cast. It's a 2-woman show. And her and I were cast, and the director calls me up, and she's like, yeah, you guys just had great chemistry. And I'm like, yeah, we've been working together for like a year. And the director had no idea. But it's just, like, yeah, it's a competitive environment, but I think when you just do it because you love it. And that's, I mean, independent film, independent theater, same thing. Just do it, love it, and you'll go places, you'll meet great new people.
How was kissing her then?
She's Rob, she's amazing. So,
no,
Rob wants to hear my answer.
We all went on the same night too.
Yeah.
Wow.
I sat next to Rob in the audience, and the first kiss, and I looked over and he's smiling.
And we're like, Rob, no photography like that.
We actually got put in the same callback together too.
We did, yeah. And the director was like, wow. And we're like, yeah, we're just that awesome.
Yeah.
We don't know each other.
Yeah.
Independent projects, because independent projects give me the freedom to create and do what I want to do, as opposed to just. I work in regular films that's doing wardrobe and stuff, and background and acting, but independent projects, you are given so much more creativity and freedom to do what you really love and what you're really good at, and explore and learn things. Because of standard action, I've learned so much more in my trade. So I've learned leatherworking and armor making and all kinds of stuff like that. And it's nice to be responsible for something and produce a really high quality product for not very much, and be really good at what I do. And this allows me to do that. Whereas, as much as I like working on big film sets, that creative license isn't there.
Yeah, with indie versus union, it's like love or money.
Yeah. Yeah. You got it. You got it. That's it.
Yeah. So about you, Edwin? What do you think?
You know, with the when you work on the bigger sets, you don't have the same freedom, and that's what you're saying. You have something, unless you're like the star of, you know, the movie or the show.
None of us has been Affleck.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank God.
You.
Yeah. Rob and I are.
No, there's. I mean, we're not A-list celebrities, so it's, you know. We don't get that.
I am. I feel like.
You know, so we don't get that license.
You are to us.
Thank you.
After all, I got all your autographs except for Martin. I'm going to have to track him down in Australia.
Yeah.
Well, like I was saying, you don't get the same freedom, and when you're working on an independent project, you're working with other people to create something, right? Instead of having the director come up and tell you this is the way you're going to do this, right? And that's it. There's no freedom to explore your character. And I also like.
I told you no.
Yeah. And I like the responsibility that you have as an actor, the responsibility that you have to take on to be self-reliant and create your character and take it and explore with it and create this performance without somebody looking over your shoulder and telling you, no, this is the way it's got to be done. This is it, like this.
Well, Vanessa was that way, but I see what she's doing.
It doesn't matter. I don't listen anyway, so. But, no, that's why I love Midnight Rocks. It's just the freedom to do something, you know, like this.
And actually, Devin, you said something once, I think, that it sort of describes why I do it, which is you said that you could always find us filming in the forest by listening for the group of 10 people laughing every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's it's, you know, I even see it on indie sets when you get with a large crew and cast, you lose that, where it is just a bunch of people screwing around in the woods. Because a bunch of people screwing around in the woods can still produce really great stuff, and it can still just feel like you were screwing around in the woods.
Yeah. That's what I love about being on set with everybody all the time is like, I'd go off the middle of the forest to go pee because that's what we have to do. And then I could hear you guys laughing. I'd be like a 5-minute walk away and all the laughs would just be bouncing off the trees and it would just, I'm like, I'm a part of this. This is so great. That's why I love season 2, by the way, because I was there.
Yeah. It's definitely a good time. Definitely. I said right at the beginning that if we stopped having fun, then we'd stop making it. We haven't stopped yet, so
we got pretty close. I think.
Oh, guys.
There were a couple times where I was like, but yeah. Started having fun again. So. All right. Any last questions? We should probably wrap up soon. Hi.
Hey, when Martin's holding the fire, how did you do that?
Ooh, Rob, how'd you do that?
All right. Well, we got him to dip his hand. It's just simple. It wasn't super simple. I use a program called Adobe After Effects, which is part of the Adobe suite. I got into it eventually through Photoshop and then Flash and then After Effects. But basically what I do is I take the video clip of just that 6 seconds of him doing this, with nothing in his hand, nothing done, and I can track his hand, and then I have like stock footage I bought for $50 of all these different types of fire where all the background has already been removed. So yeah, I just plop that on and it looks good enough to communicate the story. That's what I want.
Especially when he goes like this.
Yeah, that's all acting.
There's the acting, yeah.
Has Martin seen all the fire footage before? Or?
No, they weren't
He's
shown
just-
any of that.
Yeah,
Like,
and I
pretend you have a ball of fire in your hand. Go.
Yeah.
That's acting. Yep, and that's acting.
And I mean, like, the thing is that, you know, I have like 36 clips of fire, so and I can manipulate those quite a bit, so I can reshape it to suit whatever he did within reason. If he's going like this, I'll probably content.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing with doing fantasy with magic in it and stuff is sometimes, you know, you have to be prepared as an actor to be asked to do things that are really weird. Like in that episode where you're summoning lightning from, like you having to stand there summoning lightning for a while. Yeah, I know.
That was awesome.
Yeah, such a strong image too.
It is.
So good in that.
I love that dress.
Fun story about that dress. That dress actually belongs to one of my best friends, and it was her grad dress from like 10 years ago.
The purple one.
The purple, the black velvet.
Yeah.
And it was a Venus and Mars design from like 10 years ago, and she's like, I'm never going to do this again. It's got some stains on it. Here's you know, I had like some sweat stains or whatever. And so, Sharpie. No, I Sharpie that shit out. Yeah, no kidding. She was like, "This is never even me again," and it's perfect. It's kind of period fantasy, but it's kind of modern looking. And I tried it on Tara, and it fit her like it was made.
I zipped it up. I'm like,
so I was like, I'm gonna have to alter this, whatever. But it's better than having to make an entirely new dress, and it's free. We like free. So I zipped it up and I was like, holy shit, this looks amazing on you. So I added some, like the chains that were here, some of the trim up and down the front, along the side there was some ribbon trim. But I think I spent maybe an hour on that, and that was it. So that dress was, I was so lucky. And that's the sort of thing, so like we have stuff like that happen to us. First season and second season, friends, you know, family, fans of the show are like, so I've got this random thing, do you want it? And most of the time we'll say yes. So we just take stuff, and it may not be used exactly the way it's intended, but it'll get used. Was it coming out this week or something?
Yeah.
You just hurt people with that.
No, I think I made it better for me.
No, it was actually subliminal. We're getting you guys to love our show and then tell everybody about it. Subliminal
I don't think
messaging.
that's
Now you know. Now you know.
I don't think you have to try hard for that one.
They want to interrupt.
And it's just Canadian.
It's just me.
It's just you. Yeah.
Sorry, I thought I said something, but I wasn't. There was a couple times where we were like.
It was mostly one tone, and then every once in a while it was like, I feel like we're trying to be communicated with.
It's actually a powerful subliminal message program I've been working on.
I just said that, Rob. Are you not listening?
No.
I quit.
And do check out the rest of the season at standardaction.com.
Yep. And stay tuned for the second season.